When I was in seminary, Dr. Pentecost used to tell all of us, your life amounts to soap bubbles. It's here and it's gone. Solomon, who was the wisest man to ever live, pretty much said the same thing. Solomon's at the end of his life. In the early part of his life, he wrote the Song of Songs, which is a romantic story about his pursuit of a woman. And her dialogue with him, his dialogue with her. Later on in middle age, he wrote Proverbs, the sayings of the wise. Then at the end of his life, he wrote Ecclesiastes. He experienced everything in great abundance that any person could ever experience. He's searching for meaning and purpose. And he starts off his book of Ecclesiastes, and this is what he says. He says, the word of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. Another word for meaningless would be vanity. Vanity of vanities. Every pursuit, earthbound pursuit, whether it's religion, philosophies, politics, work, careers, money, power, pleasures, traditions, trend. He says this at the end of his life, and remind you, he's the wisest man that ever lived. It all amounts to a hill of beans. It's vanity. It's meaningless. Think about that word, meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. He says you're here and then you're dead. He says the outcome of the good man and the bad man is the same. They both end in the grave. God reigns on the good and the evil. Today's Veterans Day. My father's buried over at Fort Sam Houston, along with my brother and my mother. I grew up in a military family. I served in the military. You know what? It's meaningless. You think back on World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, even Afghanistan and Iraq, all the people that lost their lives there, meaningless. Meaningless. Some of the old warriors that are still really alive from World War II, they said, what did we die for? What did we fight for? At the end of your life, you're going to look back and you're going to say the same thing as Solomon, if you have any wisdom whatsoever. It was all for naught. Anything earthbound is meaningless. So let me finish this short message as we enter into this journey into Ecclesiastes with this thought. The only thing that is not meaningless are the things you do for the Lord Jesus Christ that count for eternity. Let me ask you something. What are you investing in? How are you going to spend this day today? Is God going to be in the forefront of your mind and thoughts? Or are you going to be caught up in the pursuit of meaningless things? As we go through this journey, I'm going to point out a lot of interesting details of what Solomon discovered as the wisest man that ever lived. Don't let your life be a soap bubble. Okay? Let your life count for eternity. Start off this Veterans Day thinking very wisely. God bless you.